Dear children, welcome to today's maths class. In this maths class, we are going to discuss an important topic in 7th standard, a topic which is connected with some figures. And that topic is known as when we are making two shapes. For example, if I take two passport size photographs and if I make it one over the other, they are fitting exactly one over the other, the copies of the same passport size photo. Or if I take, let me take another two squares in front of you. I am going to superpose those two shapes one over the other. What can you see there? You can see that these two shapes are getting correctly fixed one over the other. And even if I take something like this, you can see here there are two triangles. Suppose I am putting one over the other. You can see that the two triangles are getting superposed one over the other. So we are going to deal in this chapter about such figures, and these figures are known as congruent figures. So let's start the chapter congruent figures. Now let's start with the plane figures. For example, as I showed you, you have two photographs. These are said to be congruent when they are superimposed and fixed one over the other exactly. Same way you can take two line segments also. They are two line segments. How can you say that they are congruent? Yes, when their lengths are equal. When their lengths are equal, you can say that these two line segments are congruent. Same way, if I show you the squares, how can you say that these squares are congruent? You can say that these squares are congruent because they have got the same size and shape. That is why they are congruent. Again, if we talk about an angle, you know how an angle is formed. Yeah. Suppose this is one angle. How do you say that another angle is congruent to this one? If the next angle has got the same measurement exactly as the before, they are told to be congruent. So this is the starting of congruent figures. We have just told about congruence of some plane figures. After that, we are coming to an important shape and its congruence, and that is the triangles. Let's start the topic congruence of triangles. When we talk about congruence of triangles, we have to think about some important terms also. For that, let's take one triangle here. We have one triangle with vertices A, B and C, and this triangle is named as triangle ABC. And we have another triangle here with vertices P, Q and R, and the name of this triangle is triangle PQR. Now, what do we mean by congruence of triangles? Let's see whether we can keep that first triangle over the second one, and are they fixing it exactly? Yes, they are fixing exactly one over the other. So we can say that the triangle ABC is congruent to triangle PQR, or you can say that triangle ABC is congruent to triangle PQR, and the symbol is like this for congruence. But it's not always possible to get the congruence only by the size or the shape. We have to take care of three important words. The first word is corresponding vertices. Second word is corresponding sides. And the third one is corresponding angles. So the word corresponding is very important when we talk about congruence. So there should be correspondence satisfaction when we are taking two triangles for their congruence. Now let's see what is the meaning of corresponding vertices. When we take the first triangle ABC and the second triangle PQR, and when we are keeping one over the other, you can see that the vertex here A and B are getting fixed one over the other exactly. So, we say that the vertex A corresponds to vertex P. Same way you can see here the vertex B and vertex Q are getting fixed one over the other. So, B and Q are corresponding vertices, and the third pair is, you can see that, C and R. So, we have three pairs of corresponding vertices here. First one is A and P, second one is B and Q, and third is C and R. Next, let us see what is the meaning of corresponding sides. When we superposed these two triangles, you can see that the sides AB and PQ are getting fixed one over the other. So, the side AB is corresponding to side PQ. If you keep it upside down, it is not getting fixed exactly. That is the meaning of correspondence and its importance. Okay. So, the side AB corresponds to side PQ. Same way you can see that side BC corresponds to side QR, and the third pair is side AC and side PR. So, if you want to say the congruence of two triangles, the first thing is that correspondence of vertices, second is correspondence of sides, and the third is correspondence of angles. Here you can see that the angles getting fixed exactly one over the other are the first one angle A and angle P, and the second one angle B and angle Q, and the third pair angle C and angle R. So, three correspondence factors are important to say whether two triangles are congruent or not. Now, let us see an example based on these correspondence. Here is a question. Triangle ABC and triangle PQ are congruent under the correspondence ABC correspondent to RQP. Write the parts of triangle ABC that corresponds to, the first one is PQ. This is side PQ. Second one is angle Q, and the third is side RP. So, when we have the question here, it is given that there are two triangles and the triangles correspondence is like this, ABC corresponding to RQP. The order of the vertices is very important. So, we have to check the first answer. If we take the side PQ, so here how do you take the side PQ? This is the side PQ coming here. And what is the side that is corresponding to that PQ in this triangle? So, you can say that it is PQ the side. So, we have to go for taking the side CB. This is how we have to keep the order. So, if you write the answer, the first answer will be for the side PQ. How did we take? For the side PQ, in the other triangle, the side which corresponds to that is the side CB. Okay. So, if I ask you simply what can be the side which corresponds to PR, can you say the answer? For the side PR, yes, it will be CA. We keep the order. That is very important. Let us take the second question, that is angle Q. You have here angle Q, that is the vertex in the middle. So, for this angle Q, which is the angle that corresponds to it in the triangle ABC. See the position, it is in the middle. You have to go for taking the same position here also. So, it will be angle Q. So, how do you write? Angle Q is corresponding to angle B here. Okay, seeing the position. So, if I ask you, can you tell me the angle which corresponds to angle R in the triangle ABC? To angle R, which will be corresponding here? Yes, by seeing the position, here is angle R. So, it will be angle A, the corresponding angle. Okay, coming to the third one, it is line segment RP or side RP. So, where is side RP? It is RP. See the order, and you can see that it is AC, the corresponding side for that. So, what we conclude is that the correspondence is very important when we are taking the triangle's congruence. Let us continue the chapter. So, we told about the correspondence of vertices, angles and sides for determining the congruence of triangles. Now, it is not always possible to go for cutting two triangles and superposing them one over the other and checking the congruence. There are practical difficulties for that. So, mathematically we have to derive some criterion in general for checking the congruence of triangles. Now, this part is going to be dealing those topics, the criteria for congruence of triangles. Let us check the first criterion. The first criteria is like this: S, S, S criteria, and these three S stand for side, side, side. SSS congruence criterion. What does it mean? Let us see what is the meaning of SSS congruence criterion. Here you can see that there is a triangle and it has got three sides, and we have another triangle here with three sides. So, when the three sides are equal, the three sides of the first triangle are equal to the three sides of the second triangle. That is why they are getting fixed one over the other exactly. So, this pair of sides, the second pair of sides and the third pair of sides are equal in length, and that is the meaning of SSS congruence criteria. That means under a condition that the three sides of a triangle are equal to the three sides of another triangle, they are said to be congruent. Let us move to the next criterion for congruence of triangles. The next criterion is SAS criterion, and it stands for side, angle, side. S side, A angle, and the third S stands for the next side. What does it mean? What is the meaning of SAS congruent criterion? Let us take a triangle. You have a triangle here and you can see that it is told SAS. So, first let us take one side. Let us take this side, and one more side I am taking at the bottom. So, you have two sides, the first one and the second one. What is the meaning of that angle A? Where should that angle come? Let us see. I have taken the first side here, second side at the base, and this angle is called the included angle. What is it called? It is called the included angle between these two sides. Okay, that is the meaning of SAS. So, this side, the angle and the side should be equal to the next triangles, side, angle, side. So, you have two triangles here. The two triangles have two sides and an included angle, and that is equal to two sides and the included angle. Then these two triangles are said to be congruent. So, how do we conclude? The two sides and the included angle of one triangle are equal to the two sides and the included angle of another triangle. They are said to be congruent. This is the meaning of SAS criterion for congruence of triangles. Next, we have the third criterion for congruence of triangles, that is ASA. What is it standing for? A stands for angle, S stands for side, and A stands for angle. So, can you understand the meaning of angle, side, angle criterion. What can be the meaning of that? Yes, as we told, it is angle, side, angle. Two angles, angle number 1, angle number 2. Two angles are there and there is an included side. They should be equal to the next triangles, two angles and the included side. Included side means the side which comes between the two angles. Okay, so that's the meaning of ASA criterion for congruence of triangles. So how do we conclude that? If two angles and the included side of one triangle are equal to two angles and the included side of another triangle, they are said to be congruent. So we have learned three criteria for congruence of triangle. Let's summarize. The first one, side, side, side criterion. Second one, side, angle, side criterion. And the third one, angle, side, angle criterion. We will be doing exercise questions after the class. The next important topic that we have to deal in this chapter is about another triangle which you know already, that is the right angled triangles. Already you know what's the meaning of right angled triangle. What do you mean by a right angled triangle? Yes, if a triangle has one angle measuring 90 degrees, it's called a right angled triangle. And there are three sides for a right angled triangle as usual, and these sides have got specific names also. Do you remember the names of these sides for a right angled triangle? Yes, correct. This is the base, the altitude or the height, and the longest side is known as the hypotenuse. So three sides are there for a right angled triangle: base, altitude and the hypotenuse. So we are going to learn the congruence of two right angled triangles. How can we say that two right angled triangles are congruent? It's very easy. We have to take the hypotenuse of one triangle and the hypotenuse of the next triangle also. They should be equal, and we can take any one of these two sides. So we say that two right angled triangles are said to be congruent if the hypotenuse and any one of the sides of one triangle are equal to the hypotenuse and any one of the sides of the second triangle, then they are said to be congruent. We say that it is known as RHS congruence criterion: right angle, hypotenuse, side congruence criterion. So this is special for the right angled triangle because it has got special names for the sides also. We will be dealing with more questions in the next class.